Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Art Therapy Thursday and I was trying to think of what to do for Art Therapy Thursday. And a friend of mine who just started in wet media and gel sticks and all that fun stuff wanted to have a background video done. So I'm going to do the background on this picture. We're not going to color her specifically. We're going to color everything in the background. We're going to do that with the King Art gel sticks. So if you have a media that is a cream crayon, pretty much everything that's a cream crayon, such as the gel sticks, the Faber-Castell gelatos, or even the children's crayons. So I'll show you those here in just a second. I have a set that is no longer available, but there are other sets out there like it. They're just a small young children's crayon. So all of these types of things can be used in the same way. Now I'm not going to use the crayons or the Faber-Castells because the Faber-Castells, most of them are ice, which means that they're a little more glittery and a little bit more translucent. So we're not going to use those today. But we are going to use the King Art. Oh, sorry guys. For some reason I'm out of breath today. So the King Arts are a gel stick. They look like and act like basically a lipstick. Don't put it on your lips. Would not be good. So it just turns and it comes up. And just like a lipstick, sometimes it doesn't go back down. So you just gotta push on it a little bit. And it'll go back down. Like so. Alright, so. Okay, let's get started here. So we're gonna do the night sky first. So we need some black and some gray and some white. Well, maybe a little bit of this gray here. No, those are metallics. We don't want metallics right now. Yeah, I think a white would be good. And if you wanted to, you could add some purple into that as well. But we're going to work with some black, gray, and white with a little bit of yellow for the clouds around the sun. So that's what we're going to start, or the moon, I mean. That's what we're going to start with. Now what you're going to need, of course, is your gel sticks, some makeup brushes, some dense bristled makeup brushes. These are about $10, $15 at most on Amazon, as well as some eyeshadow applicators. This is what you'll be using for the smaller areas. And of course a palette. Alright, so I'm going to close this out. And we're going to use these four colors for the background here, as well as for the moon. I'm going to switch you over to the close-up camera here. Alright. Try to get that centered there for you. I am really sorry. I don't know why I'm so out of breath suddenly. It's very, very strange. I don't like it. All right, so we're going to start with our darkest color first because with these, the dark color will overtake the lighter color. So if you put down a light color and then put a dark color over top of it, it will just be the dark color or a mixture of the light color and the dark color. It won't actually sit on top of it the way that we want it to. All right, so we're going to start here and we're just going to brush that in from the corner, moving it in to where we want that gray area to start. I'm going to turn it a bit because I'm just brushing. I'm not putting a rotation on it because I want to be able to add that gray color in there as well. And basically you just put the color on the palette, pick it up with the brush, and just brush it on. Now because this is dry, you're not going to rub off a lot of it while you're coloring. So if you want to do the background first, you can definitely do so. Now I'm going to turn this one and we're going to do the same thing from the opposing side here, which has a little bit more of the gray. So we're just going to put the black in and we'll work from the black onto the gray. I'm going to put down a little bit more of the black. Pick it up with the brush. Now if you get some on areas that you don't want it to be, don't worry about it. This does erase. So for example, this area here, I got some on there and I don't really want it there. So I just take my eraser and erase it off, like so. All right, so now we're going to work into the gray. And we're going to put the gray on the palette. And we're going to pick it up with the same brush, just so that we get a little bit of that black in there as well. And I think I need more gray. Just giving a really good amount because the color is really light. So we want to be able to see that color. We could go with a darker gray. However, I find that on a gray scale, sometimes the darker gray gets a little bit overbearing. And it doesn't show the light reflection that we want it to show. And we're just going into the black and getting that light reflection on there, like so. And then we're going to do the same thing this way. We're going to turn the page and throw that on the floor just because, you know. And we're just going to move this in like this. Blending it into that black. Almost going all the way up to the moon here. And again, I'm not worried about getting it on the edges because I can erase that. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with the yellow. And we're going to actually start with yellow and then we're going to add some white. So we're going to do a big area of, what color is this? Lemon. So the King Hearts do have names and numbers on them. So the yellow is lemon, and the gray, which is on the floor, oh, sorry, is cool gray. So we're going to use these small applicators. We're going to pick up as much color as we can with the applicator. We may need to come back for some more, depending upon how much the applicator will pick up. Now we're just going to go in here, and we're going to add a little bit more of the yellow. And we're going into the moon and also into that edge, like so. Don't worry about the darkness on your applicator. That is normal because it's picking up some of the gray and the black that we've already put down. So I need more yellow. I think I need a little bit of a darker yellow. No, maybe not. No, it'll be fine. I thought maybe a little bit darker, but I don't really want it to be overbearing. I want it to be a slight bit of color. Again, we're going to pick it up with the applicator. And we're just going to bring it out a little, like so. Go the other way. Again, bringing it out into the sky area. Put a little bit more. Needs lots of yellow. These applicators, the only thing I don't like about them sometimes is they do hold on to some of the cream a little bit more than the brushes do. But when you're working in smaller details, they do work a lot. They work quite well for those smaller details. Okay, so like that. Now we're going to take our white. We're going to do the same sort of thing on the edge of the moon into the cloud line. So we're going to take some white. Then we're going to just go in. If you get a small bit like that, just pick it up. Usually you can blend it in fairly easily. Just like that. Then we're going to do the other side. Just picking up some more of the white. Like so. Oh, Let's put you on screen here so you can see what I'm doing. Now I wanted it to be very misty, I guess is the word. So that's another reason to use these kind of applicators so that you can get that light misty tone in there. Alright, now we're going to take a brush, and we're going to take a smaller brush here, and we're going to add something sticky on my brush. We're going to add some more yellow. We're going to pick up all the yellow here that we have left over, and we're just going to gently put it in here. Like so. And then we're going to add more white. So just putting down a nice layer of white on the palette. And we're going to pick up a bunch of that with the brush, as much as we can. And we're going to make that center area a nice light yellow white color, like so. Like that. And go in between her hair there. Not too worried about getting it on the water, because we're going to be putting that light on the water as well. So there is our moon background. Now we're going to add a bit of gray to this, but we're going to use a darker gray. So what we're going to be using is, I think it's in this one. Yeah, just straight gray, which is a darker gray instead of the light gray that we used for the clouds. I want the darker gray because I want it to give those shadows that are on the moon depth, where the lighter gray will just get taken over a little bit by the yellow. Alright, so I'm just going to fill a brush, and then we're just going to do a few areas on the moon. Filling in some of those gray areas. Like so. Then we're going to take our yellowy brush and we're just going to blend that all in. Softening up some of that gray and blending it into the white and the yellow. Like so. And there we have our moon and our sky. Now for the water, we're going to start with, down here, we're going to start with some darker colors. So we're going to put this aside, and we're going to start with a darker blue, which is over there. Okay. So we're going to take our darker blue, and I think we're going to use this one, which is deep navy. And I'm just going to put it right on top of this gray area here, because we're going to use that gray as well. Alright, and then we're going to pick that up with this one here. So as you can see, I've got it on the brush, and I've got it on the brush that I used for that gray color as well. Because down here, in these areas down here, we want the blue to shine through, but we want it to be a little bit darker. So this area here, I'm going to start going in circles. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not even showing. Moving that blue up the page. In those darker areas. Grab some more blue. Try not to hit that point there. Now, if you're trying not to hit a certain point and you don't want color to be on it, you can take your Caran d'Ache blender and you can just fill it in. Now I want these to be white, these lines. So I'm going to take my Caran d'Ache and I'm going to fill that in, so that when I do go over those areas, let's see, is there any more? When I do go over those areas, it will show as white. So coming through on the darker areas here. We'll be adding a different color as well. It's not just going to stay this dark blue here. Just getting it in as evenly as we can in those dark areas. Now the wave whites I'm not going to worry about, because I'm going to put gel pen on those just to make them stand out. So now I'm coming close to the end of the dark blue that I have. So now we can work in some of the blue-green colors. So now we're going to pick up turquoise. And we're going to use the same brush. And we're going to put this right over the same spot that the blue was and the gray. I'm going to pick up the turquoise. And we're going to come up off of that blue with the turquoise. Into those medium kind of areas. Leaving the light areas alone, because we'll be using a different color in there. some more of the turquoise. And I'm going to put some more turquoise down because this is going to take a lot. Because we're going to do most of the water with this dark turquoise color, except for the areas that we want to be a light tone, which we'll be adding a lighter color. Make sure that you don't have any chunks. So sometimes you can end up with bits on there like this that are little chunks. You can just mash those out with your brush. Just break them up. Now I'm just brushing, not really going in circles because I don't have a large area there. So because I have a smaller area there, I really should be using a different brush. So another brush that we have that works quite well for these smaller areas that are in a line type of area is a brush like this. It also comes in the set, so you can just go in a straight line with it. Especially when you're going around an edge or something, it works quite nice. If you're following a line, working up from an edge. That area there I want to do in circles because I want to fill that in. So as you see down here where I put the blender, I went over top of it and it did not pick up that color. And that's what we want. We want to be able to go over that without it picking up any major amount of color. Try to stay away from your brighter areas. But if you go over them, that's fine. You can reestablish them with gel pen on the water area. Alright, now there's a couple of areas up here that we want to do a line. A little bit darker. Same with over here. Do that a little bit darker. Alright, now our next color, we're going to get a fresh area 4 and a fresh brush because it's going to be quite light. And this one is aqua green. And this one is going to be our light tone for the water areas, not for the highlight areas. Because we've got some moonlight reflecting on the ocean as well as some light coming from the lantern. So this is for these areas here. And we should come up into there with some of the medium tone. So I'm going to grab some more of that. It should come up here. Again, I'm not worried about going over the line because I will be able to take that off. Now we're going to add the lighter tone. Hopefully this is making sense to everybody on how to do this. Now you can do this before or after you do your coloring or painting or whatnot. If you do this before you do a watercolor paint, these colors will run because they are water soluble. So if you wanted to, you could easily apply this wet as well. You don't need to apply this dry. So now I'm just going through with that lighter tone and filling in all of those light areas of water. Mixing it into the darker colors there. Like I said, just have both brushes ready if you need them. Need a little bit of the darker color here and into that lighter color. Like that. And we want some more lighter color. Also not worried too much about getting it on the mermaid because like I said, I can erase it and I will if I need to. Now the best thing to do with the gel sticks like the King Art gel sticks here is after you're done putting down your gel stick, your gel crayons, let it dry, let it cure so that it's not sticky and doesn't rub off. Because it will get sticky and rub off if you put too much movement on it while it's still moist. Okay. So again, just gonna pick up some of this light. And we're going to get up into these areas here. And like I said, I'm not concerned about the white from the waves because I will be putting that white back in. However, up here where the moonlight is, we're going to put some of this color, but we're also going to put some yellows from the moon. I'm going to start working on this side now. Again, I still have my dark brush handy. So if I still need to put more dark in there, I can. Now I'm not doing around the lantern there because that's going to be a yellow. Pick up some more of that light color. So as you can see, I have a little bit of a dark area that the light has taken over a little bit more than I want. So I just go back in with that dark tone. Now I'm not going in with the really dark tone, just the medium tone. If I find that it's too bright or too light, I can go back in with the dark tone. Where did I put it? I put it back in the thing here. I think I am going to pick up just a little bit of it. Make sure it's the right color. And I'm going to pick that up with the long brush here. Just put a little bit more in here. Putting those blue tones in, not just the green. Like so. Oh, Mr. Train is coming. Oh, sorry, the train, and then my left hand decided to cramp up. I'm going to turn the page here so that I can get in here a little bit better. Put down a little bit more of that blue. And then we're going to come down in here at the bottom of the water. And while it is still moist, like I said, you can erase any areas that get into your picture that you don't want to have that dark. Alright, now we're going to pick up some more of the light. Like so. And then we're going to add a little bit more of this dark tone as well. Medium tone, I should say. Once again, I'm not worried about the white caps because we'll be re-adding those in. Now we're going to take our yellow brush, which is this one here, and we're going to take a brighter yellow. Flip this. No, that's fine. So we're going to use this one here, which is Primrose Yellow, which is a bit of a brighter yellow than the yellow we used on the moon. And we're going to pick up some of that, and we're just going to add that in. Like so. And I will be going through and, like I said, putting in those bits of white for the now I'm just going to add the yellow around here. Now, because I want the yellow to be fairly prominent and not a green, all right, now I need this one here because we've got a dark area there. So we're just going to go right over it and cover that dark area. And then we're going to take our yellow again. And we're just going to stipple over top of it. Need a little bit brighter. Now, if you find that it starts blending your colors together and you don't want them to blend together, wait before you start adding another layer. Like, for example, right here, we're layering these colors on top of each other here. Which is fine. But if you don't want to layer, so for example, if I wanted this area just to be that yellow, I would wait and put the yellow in, if that makes sense. All right, now let's add some white. So again, going in with the white, I'm going to take a straight brush. So I'm going to take another one of the thin brushes. And we're going to do some lines with it. Just breaking up some of this white. Alright. Just making sure I've got a thin line there. So up in here we want that to be lighter. Not showing as much yellow through there. Same with down here. We want this to have more white. And over here, not again, not worrying about the white caps because we'll add that white color into them. Alright, now we're going to take a white pencil and we're going to put our lines in for the lantern, just so I can see where they are. Like so. Alright, so there is the entire background, completely done in gel sticks. I have not finished coloring her, of course, but we have finished the background. So I will switch over to the full camera here so that you can see how it looks all done up there. So there is our background all done. Like I said, I will be going through with some gel pen and putting in those white caps again. And then I will be coloring her as well. So we will probably color her on Discord. So if you want to join us over on Discord, you are welcome to do so. I'm just going to go through and remove the excess colors before they dry. So if you do this while it's still wet, it is very simple to remove. If you wait for 24 hours until it's dry, you will have more difficulty removing it. And it will make coloring over top of it a little bit more difficult too. You can definitely color over top of the gel stick, no problem at all. But while it's sticky like this, everything sticks to it. So, okay, I think that's it on areas that I'm going to be coloring. Like I said, I'm not overly worried about it because I will be coloring over it and coloring that in a different color. So, all right, so there we have it. Background's complete. And yeah, I hope this was helpful and that sort of thing. If you want to join us over on Discord, you are welcome to do so. You can, we do hang out and color and chat and that sort of thing. As you may have seen, I have put up Saturday's color and chat. It is going to be a birthday party for a very close friend and a wonderful member of our coloring family. So come and help us celebrate her on her birthday. With that, I want to say thank you all very much for watching. I hope once again that you remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artist that you enjoy. And always remember to relax, color, and stay safe. Until next time, guys. Bye bye for now.